As many of you know, I am presently writing a book on finding purpose in your pain. And one of the things that I am going to talk about in the book is how we often hold on to our pain. Pain can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be physical. And even in physical pain, the outcome can have purpose, does have purpose, but you have to be willing to deal with that pain and let it go. Pain is a sign that something is wrong, something needs your attention. And in the book, I share a story about when I took a dating class during 2020. I had been divorced for about 4 years, and I really wanted to find love again. I wanted to get married again. And so I got invited to this dating class, which was just like an introduction into, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks class. And so I went, and it was on Zoom. It was on Zoom. And afterwards, the dating coach, my dating coach, gave us an opportunity to sign up and have a short interview with her to see if we fit being in her program. And so I did the interview, and she thought that I was, I guess, a perfect candidate for this class. And so I joined about 25 other women. I think I was the only one who was divorced with children. But I went on this journey with these women. We had homework every week. We also had check-ins through Zoom. She would, teach us a lesson, and we had a time of Q&A. Sometimes she would just do Zooms that were just Q&As. And it was fantastic to learn more about myself, to learn how to date, even at the age and stage and season of life that I was in. And so in the third week of this dating class, we were required to create this blank list, SHIT list. And we were supposed to create this list based on past relationships that had been painful and write a letter to the particular people. I wrote a letter to 4 people and extract from that letter the things that you don't like, the things that I didn't like in that relationship, whatever was hurtful or painful or disappointing. And you're supposed to take those things out of those letters, make a list, and then we were supposed to switch it. So let's say I didn't like the way that you disregarded my feelings. Or you would punish me when I would tell you how I felt, especially if it made you feel bad. I felt like I was being punished and my emotions were being disregarded. So then we're supposed to take that and flip it to our future relationship that we were hoping for, and say, my future spouse or my future husband will care about my feelings. My future husband will not make me feel bad when I say something to them that they don't necessarily like. And so we made it from a blank list, a crap list, to a fertilizer list. We were taking the crap and turning it into a fertilizer that could be used for the future relationship. It was fantastic, and it was so healing. The physical part of that exercise was, once I made the list of the things that I didn't like from past relationships, and it didn't have to be just romantic relationships. But taking that list, I wrote it down on paper, then I cut each individual piece of painful memory or something I didn't like, and I taped it to weights. These were 5 to 10 pound weights that I would tape these negative memories, emotions that I had. Then a friend knew about this project that I was doing, this class, and she gave me a bag that I could carry with my weights in it, because my assignment was to carry that bag around with me everywhere I went for 5 days. Okay. Now, it ended up being, after the 5 days, I checked in with my dating coach and she said, you need to carry it just a few more days. So I ended up carrying it probably a little over a week. I carried that bag with me everywhere I went. You can ask my best friend. I slept with it next to me. I took it to church with me. It sat right next to me. When I was driving in my car, it was sitting in my lap. When I would go to the restroom, it was sitting on the counter next to me. I took it everywhere. And it was such a healing and symbolic thing to me, thinking, do I really want to carry this load for the rest of my life? Do I really want to carry this load into my next relationship? And so I remember at the time I was living with my best friend. Both of our families were sharing this beautiful home that we lived in. And her bedroom was at the end of this very long hallway in our home. I believe it was like 18 steps or something like that. I remember counting. But I remember dragging that bag along our beautiful hardwood floors to her room and allowing it to bang up and down the hallways. It hit the walls, it hit the molding. And then once I got into her room, it hit the door frame, all this banging and hitting. It was noisy. And I thought, I can't imagine going into another relationship, seeing this person who could be the love of my life, running to them to hug them or give them a kiss, and dragging this bag behind me. And it just gave such a beautiful picture of certain pain that we have. We tend to hold on to it. We don't let it go. Even once we're through it, we don't give it away. We don't share it. We don't find the purpose in it. And sometimes it stays with us. It stays with us and we carry it into the next season or the next phase of our life or even the next relationship. And so in the book, I'm going to share this story, and I'm going to share the importance of letting your pain go. It may be something, it may be an illness that you went through. There's a story there. There's a purpose there. For me, I've had a lot of emotional pain in my relationships, and I have had to work really hard to understand, to see God's will in my life, his purpose, to let things go, to learn from things. And sometimes I'm still carrying it along. This book is such an expression of me sharing my pain with you, sharing my pain with my readers. I want my readers to learn from my mistakes. I want my readers to learn that their pain can be turned into something good, because at the end of the day, God allows pain in our lives for our good and for his purpose. How will you use your pain?